Yo, what's up, guys? My name's TB, and today we're here to talk about my anime list for 2019 in the winter. We have some very amazing shows that are on my list that I have been watching. One that I'm super excited to talk about because I'm all caught up. I'm all caught up on most of these, but some of these I'm not because I haven't even started watching it, and they're in their second season. So I wanted to give it a chance to catch up so I can kind of marathon. Some shows I want to watch right away weekly, and others I just want to marathon. But something that I'm going to do differently from my previous, anime watch list videos is there's not really going to be any music to hype up the show that I'm talking about because I tried that and for some reason I got away with the first time, and I got away with it a little bit the second time, but we'll be having some copyright issues. So I guess some companies just don't want you to put their OPs in your video. It's cool. We're still here to talk about the anime. And the first one, there's no surprise to you guys if you've been on my channel for a little bit, is Sword Art Online Alicization. Sword Art Online has been a show that ever since it debuted, it's just been in my heart, you know what I mean? So many positive and negative opinions out there about Sword Art Online, and it's just this is a very solid season. Season 3 is a season that I feel like will convince a lot of people that they should really watch this show because there's something there, there's a decent story there, the characters are likable, stuff like that. You got Kirito, Asuna, and Yujiro. Right now, basically what they're trying to do is just kill the Pontifex, restore the underworld, and get back to real life. That's all I feel like they need to do. Right now where they're at in the anime, Alice is still an Integrity Knight and she hasn't been saved yet. But it's really exciting, and I feel like if you really want to know more about the show, just watch my reviews straight up, Self-promotion at its finest. But Sword Art Online Alicization is a really good show. It's a continuation. It's season 3. We even had a spin-off. We had the one with the girl in the pink jumpsuit when she was basically playing GGO. Sword Art Online is a good series, and if you've never given it a chance, absolutely, positively, you should watch this show. This is not a should you watch. I gotta do some more of those. I have a list. Trust me, watching anime is not as easy as it used to be. I don't have as much free time. But that's the first one. The second one is Mob Psycho. Now, I know some people might be like, what? Mob Psycho's on your list right now? Mob Psycho's been out for a minute. How come you haven't been caught up? It's the second season. And I don't know, man. This is just one of those shows where I was like, I could wait. It looks interesting, but I could wait. Enjoyed One Punch Man. One Punch Man season 2 is coming out next, in the spring. I'm about to watch that. But we're here to talk about Mob Psycho. So I don't know much about Mob Psycho right now. Honestly, I think I'm only on episode 3 of season 1. But I will be catching up, because the second season is airing right now. We got Mob, and we got his teacher, and let me see if I forget his name, because I wrote it down to make sure I didn't forget. Reagan, Arataka Reagan. He seems like a pretty cool dude, kind of like a big brother, sometimes a father figure, but at the same time, it feels like he looks out for his own interests a lot of the time. He's funny, and he, has this business where he wants to take care of spirits, dispel spirits. Sometimes they're real, as you've seen, in even just the first 3 episodes. Sometimes these spirits are real, and he really does need Mob, even though he pays them like crap. And sometimes he gives people really good back massages, and he says that he dispelled the spirit. So there's Reagan. Mob is a pretty interesting character. He's like a 14-year-old kid in high school. He's trying to figure out what he wants to do, what clubs he wants to go, how does he get to impress this girl that he really likes, stuff like that. And the intro is fantastic. See, if I could have played it, it would have been amazing. But if you guys know anything about Mob Psycho, the intro is just really great. Apparently he's a psychic. Whenever it counts down to 100, he blows up or he goes crazy with his powers, his psychic powers. I want to know more about this show. It's on my list. I'm gonna get caught up. Don't crucify me. It's a very good show. Third show on my list, I've been wanting to watch for the longest time, but money was tight, and I was like, I have so many online services, I don't have money to pay for Netflix. I finally got Netflix probably a couple weeks ago, and it's Kakegurui. Kakegurui is a show that looked very interesting from the moment that I saw it. Saw the previews, saw the demo, whatever you want to call it, the trailer for it, and I was like, wow, I've never seen an anime like this before. Basically, you got this school that is run differently than any other school, aren't they all? Basically, how they deal with everything is just gambling. They gamble for literally everything. If you have money, if you're good at gambling, then you're at the top. If you suck, then you at the bottom. You a slave. Basically, they had specific names for if you were a guy or if you were a girl, but basically, you were a slave if you didn't have money and if you weren't good at gambling. The main character is pretty interesting, and it's weird because I guess she's the protagonist, but she also has like a male protagonist counterpart. And there's a antagonist who's also a woman who looks like pretty similar to her in personality and just how she looks, except for she has shorter hair, and instead of like a red hue, she has like a blue hue. Let me just read off the list of the characters, because there's not just two. Like I said, there's a couple of side characters that are pretty important too. You got Yumiko Jabami. She's the girl with the black hair that you probably seen if you ever heard of Kakigori. You got Ryota Suzui. You got Mary, and you got Momobami. Momobami, throughout the entire series, it just seems like, because this is on season 2, obviously, right? Season 1 has been out for a while now. She's very mysterious. It seems like she has this weird sort of power to make anyone follow her, you know what I mean? But the same thing goes for Yumiko. Yumiko also goes around just, befriending people, trying to be their friends. And it's like, the first episode, she totally destroys Mary, right? Like, and she like sort of gets off on it too. It's kind of weird. This show is so refreshing because the whole plot behind like destroying people and making them think that they're actually good at what they're doing, but then they're not, because she approaches gambling in this crazy way where she wants to risk it all the time, all the money, her life, everything, anything. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. You really gotta give this show a shot. It's so good. And the support, like I said, the supporting cast is really good too. It's not just about Yumiko, and Ryota. There's a whole bunch of other people in the show, more girls than guys too. But it's a good show, man. Check it out. The fourth show is a show that I wasn't sure if I was gonna like. I saw people talking about it a whole bunch. And I'm glad that it has 25 episodes and it's not just 12 episodes, because honestly, the character development in this show for the main character and all the side characters is freaking great. It's freaking amazing. It's that time I got reincarnated into a slime. The first episode sets this up fantastically. I feel like it does a lot of what these isekai shows do, right? The first episode is this guy. He's in Japan. He's a normal person, whether he's a guy or a girl. Something happens to him. In this case, he gets stabbed and he dies. And then he gets transported, reincarnated as a slime into another world. First episode, didn't know what he's doing. You don't know what's happening. But the interesting thing is, as he was dying, it's like he was trying to make sure that he doesn't regret anything in the past life. So he starts like listing off these things that he doesn't want to happen. Like, he doesn't want to have to worry about money, about food, about being in pain. And like, these are low-key all his skills that are going to translate into the new world. So when he becomes a slime, he has so many skills. Like, he's resistant to freaking fire, to poison, to like anything that's going to hurt him. And his main skill is a skill called Predator, where basically he can eat something and take all of its attributes, everything. So in the first episode, he meets this dragon who's been like locked up in this cave by this really strong spell. He's been there for like hundreds of years, and he's like, I want to get out. And then he helps him get out by freaking eating him and taking all of his magic. So like in the first episode, not much has happened, but the slime, his name is Rimuru, he becomes like OP basically. He becomes really strong, and the journey just begins from there, man. It's such an amazing show. I did not know what to expect when I first started watching it, but it's really, really good. He goes on so many adventures. He befriends so many people. He gets so many different skills. He kills monsters. He travels all over the place, meeting people. It's really good, man. It's really, really good. I almost wanted to like review every single episode, but like I can't do that with every single anime that comes out, because then I'll just be doing reviews for every single anime. And the fifth show, I just heard about it like literally a couple days ago. I don't know how it slipped my mind, got away from my radar. It's Shield Hero. Shield Hero is an amazing show. I can just literally talk about Shield Hero for probably for like 30 whole minutes, but I'm definitely not going to do that. It's another isekai. This guy, in the first episode, he's just a regular college student. You know, he's an otaku. He likes anime. He likes video games. He's just living his life. And then he goes to the library, right? He reads this book that talks about this fantasy world, about these 3 legendary heroes that will get summoned from another world into their world to help stop the calamity, whatever that is. Once he gets to the end of the book, or kind of like halfway, because the rest of the book is blank for some reason, it said Shield Hero. So he gets summoned to this other world as the Shield Hero, the main protagonist that we see in the beginning of the episode. He finds out that there's other 4 heroes. There's a spear hero, there's a bow and arrow hero, there's a sword hero, and there's him, the Shield Hero. They're all pretty cool, to be honest with you. Like, they all have like pretty cool character designs, but when it comes to their personality, after a whole bunch of stuff happens, like, to be honest with you, the only one I highly dislike right now is the Spear Hero. And if you even watch a couple episodes, you'll know why. The Shield Hero goes through so much crap, my dude. Just allow me to talk about a little bit what happens in the first episode alone. They all get summoned to this world, but apparently, according to like video games or like the lore of the fantasy world that they're in, the Shield Hero is the crappiest hero, because shields protect people, right? They don't fight, they don't attack, they protect. That's totally different than the bow, the spear, and the sword. Those are all for attacking. So the moment that he gets in this world, even the king and the knights and the nobility just treat him like absolute crap, you know? Like, very disrespectful. Don't even care about him. They don't even want to give him a reward. They barely even mention him when they say, oh, come talk to the king. We want you here. And basically, he starts his adventure just like everyone else. They get a certain amount of money to go buy themselves some armor, some weapons, and they start, trying to level up, because they need to get strong in order for them to defeat this calamity. And it comes in waves. And we don't know how many waves there are, but like every single time a wave comes, basically the 4 legendary heroes need to go fight all the enemies and monsters that come out of there. In the first episode, this guy gets disrespected. Oh my gosh, so badly. He gets all of his money stolen from him, all of his weapons, all of his armor, everything stolen from him. From the get-go, this game, like this fantasy world, was totally 100% against him. The people that were supposed to be his friends, the legendary heroes, they just leave him to fend for themselves. They're supposed to work together, be friends. They all came from a different era in Japan, apparently. They didn't all come from the same Japan. They all have their own like timeline, their own world, because like things are just different for them. But basically they all speak Japanese, because it's just convenient that they do. And man, the character development for the Shield Hero in the first episode alone. First episode is like 47 minutes. It's longer than a normal episode, 24 minutes, 25 minutes. It's so good, man. It's so good. I just want to sit here and talk about everything that has happened to him, because he has to go through so much crap. He starts off as a very optimistic, happy-go-lucky character, transported to another world, having the opportunity to, basically role play and just be a hero. But no, it did not work that way out for him. Eventually, he gets a sidekick, and she's great. That's later, probably like in episode 2 or episode 3. Her name is Raphaelia. She's like a half squirrel, half human. It's such a good show, man. It's such a good show. Definitely worth being on my list. If I only had to pick one anime to watch for this whole entire season, it would be Shield Hero. It would be. Now, as like sort of like an honorable mention, because I like to keep it to 5 shows, because realistically sometimes these shows take a long time to watch and they have a lot of episodes, so I usually like to keep to 5. But number 6 is Black Clover. You guys know Black Clover. I mentioned Black Clover last season, and I'm all caught up. Love Black Clover. Love the main characters. The only character that I really don't like that much is Asta's brother, because it's weird. They both come from nothing, right? Asta and his brother both come from nothing, except for his brother freaking has a grimoire and he's able to use magic, and Asta, he has a grimoire too, but he didn't originally start with one, and he can't use magic, but he's proven himself in true shonen fashion that no matter what happens, If you work hard, then you can get to where you want to go. He hasn't become the freaking the wizard king yet, but like, you know, he's on his way there. And they had so much fun. Like it seems like they have so much fun, even though he can't use magic. You know, he's got his swords, he's buff, he's strong, he's got his own attributes that make him a badass character for sure. I don't like his brother, and I don't like Noelle. I don't like Noelle. I don't understand why people want to put Asta and Noelle together, because like she's just a bad character. Like, it's not just because she's a tsundere, because sometimes like in shows where someone's a tsundere and the girl still has a pretty good personality, she has a horrible personality. She can't admit when she's wrong. She's always punching people. She's always like using her magic to disrespect people, especially Asta, and it's just like, no. How can you ship them? I usually don't care too much about ships, but like you can't ship them. I can't wait for Asta to get stronger. He's already got his black form. You know, I don't watch the manga. I don't read the manga, but I'm keeping up with Black Clover. Black Clover is a good show. I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm glad that I gave it a chance. Again, like I said before, super happy about that. And that's my list, man. That's my list. Hopefully, you know, you guys have your own list. Is there anything on my list that was on your list? Is there anything on your list that wasn't on my list that you think that I should give a chance? To be honest with you, I love watching anime. You know, I feel like half of this channel is anime and the other half is video games, but you know, I always try my best to make sure that it's pretty even. Let me know what you guys thought on my list. You know, let me know what you guys are watching, what you're excited for. Next season has a lot more stuff, man. I'm gonna make sure that I get my video for next season on time. I already kind of got my list for next season, at least some of them. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.